You know what I get a lot on my comments is simp on every one. Major simp behavior. I know this dude's a simp. Simp material here.
From what?
I don't know.
From
Just
sketches? Or from
no, it's just on there.
Wow.
Even from my comments, I'll comment something. They'll be like, "That's a simp comment."
Wow.
And it actually gets to me. Simp is one that can kind of get to you.
I mean, that's a specific thing. That's not like they're calling you dumb.
Right.
They're calling you like weak.
A simp.
Yeah.
It's
Dude's
one
got
that
his
bothers
nose
me,
open.
actually.
Yeah.
I'll go back
You're
to
not
that.
actually a simp, though.
I don't even know what a simp is. I have to go back and delete comments because I get stirred up at night and I got to quit doing it. I'll be like, hey, everybody, go look at their page. Then you'll know what a simp is.
Look at this motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
I know you ain't talking.
I'll be like, you got a 4-pack. Dude, I go back and look at my comments. I'm talking about this dude's ab muscles.
That's so funny. I wish we could see like a back and forth. You laying in bed right there, and then them laying in bed, and it's typing back and forth. This simp motherfucker, he keeps talking.
He's a simp.
I know you ain't talking.
You know you get them when they comment right away as soon as you leave it and your phone lights up.
Yeah. Well, I think we're both used to seeing when you have the viral video going, and it's just notifications are just blinking. Yeah. Whereas on their end, they only get one notification, which is you writing back, "Fuck you." But it's like, no, we're getting like 1 million, so it's easy to ignore. But
yeah, and dude, I worry about people because people are off the handle now. It goes so quick to, how about I execute everybody you've ever loved?
They start looking you up. It's like, is this your former address?
It's insane.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to tell Daryl hi.
Right. Yeah, say hi to Dominic Sr. But I get the feeling that most of these people who are like mad at me, I bet they're not I'm not going to run into them here. I get the feeling this is the middle of the country. Those are the reactions I'm getting right now.
Right.
Where the algorithm somehow knows to push my stuff.
I would hate to run into somebody.
Indiana.
Imagine you're at the airport, somebody just beats your ass.
Yeah, right. I bet it's not funny now, huh?
Yeah. Somebody whips your ass and they're like, I want to fight this guy so bad, I'm going to lose my flight privileges. That's a certain level of hate.
Hey, you only got a couple minutes to react, and then,
You know what it is? I think people are so no longer around themselves anymore. Like, people don't really kick it no more. Like, before the phones, people would stop over your house. You'd have 8 people. It's a social thing.
Right.
Now, nobody hangs out with nobody. They don't know how to act with other humans anymore.
Oh, yeah.
You could bust chops a little.
Well,
don't
I mean,
need to go to a
especially little kids. Little kids who only grew up with this.
They never had the opportunity.
But this is like, I mean, they grew up with the iPad. They never have the chance to really, like, be around other people and get the immediate
bust chops, get the feeling of, oh, that's wrong, that was too far.
Knowing when to push
that
things.
Feeling, yeah.
Whereas if you're just laying in bed just commenting on shit, you never get the pushback.
That's the worst.
You never get the awkward feeling of like, uh-oh, that joke bombed.
It's like when I post a video all by myself, I film it and post it. I'm like, yo, this sucks. You see 4,000.
You're already in your head. The commenters haven't even started yet, but you're already commenting on yourself. And
yeah, dude, I got to quit. Even silence is just golden on the internet. It's like, I'm sure there's comments of me out there saying some vile shit.
Well, I've never actually commented on anybody's stuff before. And I know that most people aren't actually commenting.
You got self-control.
Well, it's like also I learned it pretty early on, and I'm not actually going to go out of my way to read anything. If something pops up, and sometimes you can't help it.
Right.
I'm ADD. I'm OCD with notifications where I have to press the button.
Me too.
But I try to look away before it.
Nah, I see the comments. They get to me.
Talking about your nose or something.
Or just
talking
like
about something you can't control.
Right. They'll be like, you dropped the ball on this one. Or sometimes. This guy's
got weird cheekbones.
This dude's got a punchable face. I get that sometimes.
Yeah. No, but it's like you can't. It's so hard to not think about it because you do know that the thing is right there. And I know right now my phone is like, it's literally warm. You can feel the warmth on my phone because too much shit's going on. Too many people are like, yeah. Man, what? I mean, you were out of town for the Mike Tyson fight.
I know. I watched it, though.
I mean, like, you saw that stadium. That was the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Oh, yeah. Damn, that was the Cowboys Stadium.
That's like 90,000 people. And, I mean, Cowboys, they're playing on a football field, so there's more seats for boxing.
Yeah.
So it's like, 80, 90,000 people are watching Mike Tyson just get his ass kicked.
I didn't realize it was that many.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, we watched it on the ship, and you know what's crazy? It worked. We were watching somebody else's Facebook Live. We got it on the ship through Facebook.
Uh-huh. But it was like...
It worked, though.
On Netflix, they said 60 million simultaneous viewers.
Wow.
Plus,
and then think about all the Facebook Live people.
Exactly. Plus that, so it's probably like 100 million people watching that at the same time. everybody is just bummed out.
I was bummed, dude. I just wanted Mike to throw a couple
I wanted
hellacious.
one good round.
Yeah, I just wanted to see him, man, a little bit of Mike.
Yeah, I mean, like there was a couple punches he was able to catch him with, but it's like his legs were out from the beginning.
Did they ever? Well, they were saying Holyfield said he had an injury or something too, so his leg was off balance.
Well, I mean, he had like they were supposed to fight in the summer, and they got postponed because Mike Tyson got hurt. It turns out he had it was really fucked up. His heart was messed up.
Oh man!
But it was like it clearly, you're watching something where it's like from the start, something's off.
What was the thing with biting the glove? Did they talk about that?
He just said it was just like a tick for him. It's just something to do to keep him,
Wow,
busy between.
I never noticed him doing that.
Maybe it is kind of a late period thing, but I think it is just like, I think he could tell that this was going bad. So it's like you got to keep yourself from, instead of thinking about it.
You think he thought he was going to go in and whip him easy?
No, I mean, you saw him. He tripped on the way to the ring.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I started watching that about maybe the third round.
It's just like, but
it went by so fast.
Yeah, 2-minute rounds too. The whole fight was 16 minutes. But like, we're thinking about comments and what you get self-conscious. What are people saying about you? What's someone like Mike Tyson been through?
Dude, the thing is, I seen Tyson on his world tour. I watched him in Youngstown at the Cavelli Center.
Yeah.
And it was like a headgear match. I know he was just trying to make money. They both wore headgear, and the other guy actually wore body padding.
Yeah.
And everybody's just screaming, "Bite his ear, dude!" Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like 2005. And even then, dude, they had to keep bringing up the ear thing. I mean, it's like, let him go. When Jake Paul put that diamond thing on the ear, it's like, bro, can we forgive this man of this thing?
Yeah, he went to jail for rape, right?
Right. What's the
whole
whole
we're talking
bite
about
in
the ear thing. Yeah, we're still stuck on the ear. There are other things we can talk about. Yeah, Robin Givens. But like, think about that guy. He's had people talking about him for his entire life.
Yeah, since he was at least 14.
17 years old, youngest champion in the world ever. And so it was like, and you're in 1980s level fame. So that's like, there were less famous people. So
yeah.
Being famous
and
back
the money he made.
I mean, the money, the attention.
The money alone makes you another level famous.
When you're that, but it was like he was famous in the 80s. So he was the kind of famous where he goes to Japan. Never been to Japan before. Opens up the plane door. It's 100,000 Japanese people who are screaming.
And the most deadliest.
Yeah.
He was known as the toughest man on earth.
And it was like, so it's like when you're famous from that, what does that do to your brain in terms of just like self-consciousness? You almost wonder if it's like, is he immune to it or is it even worse for him?
And he handles stuff so well. Think about it. He just got in that fight on the plane too not that long ago.
Well, I think now he's like, physically, he's just not like, he doesn't have that same trigger kind of impulse. But it's just like, what goes through your brain like that, knowing that I think it was the most watched boxing match of all time.
Yeah.
In terms of like simultaneous viewers. To know that many people are watching you and that you used to be the best boxer in the world and now you're getting fucked up by some guy.
I'll tell you what I couldn't imagine that people probably don't take into account is the nerves. Like the nerves he had going in. The last thing he wanted was to get knocked out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just knowing too, it was like that. Because it's not like he didn't know that he was unhealthy. He knew from the start.
Right.
When he's walking
but that
out.
$20 million.
Yeah, I mean, like he's got a knee brace on. It's like when you're in the back, he already walked in knowing like my legs are not going to hold up.
I didn't notice the knee brace.
Yeah. Look at his legs are all skinny looking and shit.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think what it's like to be 58, 60 years old. You can still do upper body stuff. And he still has the power to throw like a punch. But it's like, what can you do in your knees? My knees
and his
are already
whole
bad.
body, dude, his wrist. I mean, he could throw a punch, but you got to think, I boxed for like 3 or 4 years. I still have wrist problems. I barely even did it.
Yeah.
This dude boxed his whole life. His wrists are shot. They've probably been fused several times, like tennis elbow. I'm sure the shoulders are wrecked.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad he got the money. Think about he had to get one big payday, and he's out. He was already trying to set up the Logan Paul one. They just straight disrespected him, too.
I mean, there's no way the next one's going to be as big as
there
this
ain't going to be another one.
They're trying to set up another Holyfield fight, and it's like, let's hang it up.
And it's a shame. Holyfield don't pull the numbers as Tyson.
Well, Tyson Holyfield that's 2 old guys, so it's like, yeah, I don't think so.
Right.
It's just like watching George Foreman when he tried to come back.
It shows you when people have money, the money men, like it's Logan and Jake. They were kind of Logan was a little disrespectful to Mike when he's talking about fighting him and.
Well, I think he's already like, well, he gotta like spark the interest.
Right, he's like, yeah, he just wants money, you
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
But he's right. They're the money guys now. I mean, they gave him a 20. Didn't he make 20 million?
Yeah, I think probably a little more than that.
Now we don't know the backstory. Maybe he didn't even want to fight, but he was 20 million in debt for something, or 10 million. Who knows?
I mean, like all those guys. Tyson's the kind of guy who's like he's been rich and broke and rich and broke so many times that it's like, yeah, you don't know when you're catching him on the wave. Because it's like you can't imagine him having like a steady, amount of money in the bank.
Even when I feel like when you interview him, I don't know how I'd act if I went from having hundreds of million. You know the feeling. I don't know. You're pretty disciplined, but you know me, dude. Sometimes I get paid and I know it's all my money for the month, but then I do something dumb and I blow through it on some stupid shit.
Yep.
And then the way I feel when I just blow like $400 or $500.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine blowing 100 million, dude?
Well, just the feeling too, especially in like the 80s and the 90s, where it's like you wake up and you don't know. We blacked out. So the last 12 hours, you don't know what happened, but you just spent, $100,000.
They were talking about when he was fighting, he had chlamydia and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, he would just give people cars.
Yeah, that's when he fought Buster Douglas.
Who else was ever rich that famously? Like, I don't think movies. There probably weren't even movie stars that were making. I think in 2 years, Tyson made like 100 million. Baseball players. I don't know if baseball was always.
They do now, but yeah, back in the 80s.
80s, yeah. Nobody was making 100 million.
Yeah,
2
I mean Don King,
years.
yeah.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
else was making money off of him, but yeah, I mean, I just read Al Pacino's book, and I didn't realize that Al Pacino, he's been famous since the 70s, since Godfather and everything, Serpico, but like, he just blew through everything. He was like 65 years old, and he was flat broke.
Damn, I seen something about that.
Yeah,
And he has a kid, too.
He has like a bunch of kids, he has a bunch of houses, this huge staff, and some like accountant just ripped him off.
Oh,
where he didn't realize he wasn't
damn.
on top of it, and the accountant went to jail for fraud or something.
What?
So he was just like, well, I'm 65 years old, and now it's like nobody really wants to watch an old guy in a movie. So he just has to do a bunch of like, if you look at his IMDb, he's done like a bunch of movies that like barely anybody saw.
Yeah, I seen
He
a
does a
couple
movie
of
with
that.
like 50 Cent or something.
They'll end up on an airplane, though.
Yeah.
Dude, I know I met when I was friends with one of Al Pacino's drivers, though.
Oh, really?
And the dude was like, yeah, he does not want you to speak to him or talk to him. My buddy was an actor.
Oh, well.
And Pacino was an actor, and I guess his other driver was an actor. It's like an inside gig driving those famous people. But it's a lot of actors that do it. It's like one of those jobs.
Oh, yeah.
But he was like specific, I don't want nobody talking about it. I guess he said the last driver got fired because he's like, hey, I'm an actor. I'm doing this role. And
Yeah, Al Pacino doesn't want to hear on that.
right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess you get that big.
Yeah, even if you're not that big, do you want to hear that shit? Do you want to
Yeah,
get
you're
into
right.
do you want to get an Uber with the guy who wants to tell you about his acting career?
Or
It's like-
comedy. For me, it would
No.
be comedy, yeah.
Nah, it's even worse if he's an actor. So what the fuck am I gonna do for you? I don't know. I don't want to hear this.
Right. He's going to, yeah. Hey, I guess you got a good point. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to hear it.
That's why that self-driving car is gonna take off. So
Man,
you don't
dude, that's
gotta-
crazy.
You don't got to hear this shit, or some guy trying to pitch you his app or something.
Right. Or people recording you for their TikToks. I'm always
Yeah.
worried I'm going to end up on
Yeah,
somebody's Uber.
Yeah. Well, you know that this guy's there's nobody who's not trying to go viral. It's
People
like
are recording those Ubers, too. You ever
Yeah.
been in one?
people who work at McDonald's are recording themselves now, just waiting for their viral moment.
Yeah, dude, the driverless car, though. So how'd that go? Did it take longer?
It's sick. I don't know. I mean, it's just like taking an Uber. I mean, like.
And you were in the back seat, right?
Mhm. And I mean, like, you're just watching the steering wheel in the front, just spinning around. It's cutting in and out.
What?
There's like a little like screen in the back where it's showing you like what the car can see, and you're seeing little like animated stick figures walking by whenever there's a person or another car or like
Wow.
a bike or something. So it's like you can see that it kind of knows the world.
Wow.
Hmm So it's like it can change lanes, and yeah, we were in San Francisco too, so it was cutting through pretty busy area. There's
Right.
people jaywalking, dogs jumping around.
Wow.
The cars just knows how to cut around. It was San Francisco, so I'm driving through like a homeless apocalypse hellscape where there's just like
People could just open up your door.
I don't even know about that, but it's just like you're watching. There's I don't know if you've been through the bad part of San Francisco, but
No, I haven't.
there's nothing like it.
Wow.
Nothing in New York compares at all
Really?
to the homelessness of San Francisco.
Closest I've been was Venice Beach.
That's not even it either. Downtown LA, if you go to Skid Row, that's similar. But it's just like block after block where it's like, I didn't realize it gotten that bad. I was, you know me, I'm always the guy where it's like they're exaggerating. It's not actually, but it's just like, most of San Francisco is fine. But you go through a certain area, Tenderloin District, in South of Mission, and like formerly downtown San Francisco. It is block after block where it's like, it looks like the beginning of the Terminator.
Is there campfires?
I bet at night there are, but it's just like, it looks like there's like a parade going on.
Man.
On the sidewalk where it's just
And
like
it's expensive as
sidewalk.
hell. San Fran's expensive as
It is, but that part of town nobody wants to live because it's like super fucked up. But you're just watching people flat out on the street, tents everywhere. There's just trash and like, yeah, it is wild. But you're seeing all that. I'm in like this futuristic car that's like, you know,
What was it?
weaving
Tesla?
through traffic. It's a Jaguar.
Oh, get out. Damn.
It's like the new electric Jaguar.
That's wicked.
So it's like all quiet. That's gonna happen. They just it's called Waymo. They're like it's run by Google. They're already running in Los Angeles.
Is the price more for the driverless?
About the same. They're
Wow.
good. Yeah.
You knew that was coming, dude. You know how many people make a living that I know as Uber riders? They're gonna be done, like family men, where they got that's their
it'll take a
second
little
hustle.
while. I mean, there's always gonna be, it's gonna take a while for them to actually scale up. But it's like, I did a video about this, but it's like there's no way. If you're willing to work for Uber, because those guys barely make anything in the city here.
Yeah, they say they drive 12 hours a day.
If you're willing
minimum.
to work 12 hours a day for that little money, it's like you can get a fucking job.
Right.
You'll figure it out.
Right.
Those are hardworking
other
people.
jobs. Yeah, they're hardworking people.
People who are getting in trouble are people who don't want to work.
Well, driving in New York's the hardest job I've ever had.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Driving to the airport back and forth to Manhattan.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
All around, dude. New York in general.
Who would want to do that?
And that's 24/7 for them.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that were the real hustlers were the cab drivers. Because one time a dude told me, I think I told you this before, I was running late. I'm like, come on, man, I'm running late. I got to go. I was going to work. I don't know, somewhere, East Side Dock, like to where the ferry for the art thing. Like, I couldn't be late. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. I'll pay you more. Come on. This dude pulls over because he sees people with luggage. After we already go about 8 blocks. And he's like, are you guys going to the airport? They go, yeah. He goes, I'm sorry, you got to get out. He goes, I got to feed my family. You got to go. Dude, and I had to get out of the cab. And I can't argue with the dude.
It's like illegal.
Really?
Yeah. They can't.
Wow.
Yeah, once the door closes, it's like legally the guy has to take you wherever you want to go.
Really?
Yeah, it was the same thing where it's like cab drivers, if you say I'm going to Brooklyn, they don't want to go to Brooklyn, but it's like the second that car door closes, it's like legally he has to go.
No
you can't refuse
way.
it. Oh, it's discriminatory. They don't want, like back in the day, those cab drivers used to like, they don't want to stop for.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why people always say, get in the cab, then tell them where you're going to go.
Exactly. I mean, like any cab driver, if he knew that you had to go to Queens or something, it's like the cab driver wants to go to the airport, he wants to go downtown.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go all the way out there.
Wow. Yeah, because he knows coming back.
That's why it's like in Ubers. I think they don't actually tell the driver where he's going until like he accepts the thing.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Same way with how when we did some jobs, ours were the same way.
Oh yeah, Postmates.
Yeah.
Yeah. You accept it and then you find out you're going to the project or something.
But I do know a lot of people that Uber on the side, man, like an after work gig, man. I don't know. It's hard to find a job with that type of freedom.
Freedom. What, you're in a fucking car going to the airport?
Well, I mean, New York, it's different. I mean, there's people that are Ubering, like,
small town.
Or even like the food delivery. A lot of people make their money off Uber Eats and stuff. And people make some bread. That would be a hard one to replace.
They already are.
But people are going to steal those damn robots, dude. That shit ain't working right.
No, I mean, you can't open it up.
I'm sure people kick it over and stuff.
They do, but it's just like you can't, just like vandalizing a car. It's like if there's a million of those little robots rolling around, it's like, they're going to get there eventually.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. You think the robots will work out?
For food delivery? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, like, I was skeptical of the whole self-driving car thing until I got in this car.
Yeah,
And
I remember you were.
Immediately, I was just like, no, this is it. I was like, I was in the car for like 20 minutes. Within 5 minutes, I wasn't even like, it didn't even like it wasn't even cool anymore. Where it's like this is just some normal shit. This
And
is
you
like
trusted it the whole way.
It's like riding the bus. Whatever. Like I mean, like I think I'd get a little skeptical if I was like freeway and you got to be weaving around. But
right.
if you're just in the city, these cab drivers already drive crazy anyways.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like, well, it's not that much different.
The cabs, Ubers, the food delivery people, they're way more dangerous than a computer's going to be.
I mean, especially the food delivery on those
they're driving the
little
wrong
motorcycles
way.
and shit. They're on the sidewalk driving the wrong way, no lights. Yeah. That stuff's going to get replaced. Little robots.
Right.
Little little Roomba drones and stuff. I think so.
And we know fast food's getting replaced. We see that happening.
Yeah. The little kiosk.
Yeah.
It's better. These are all improvements as far as I'm concerned.
I still enjoy a mom and pop restaurant though, man. I hope we don't get rid of all those.
Oh yeah. Well, those are going to go on their own.
It seems like they're going in general.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a good spot.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about, what's AI doing to music. I don't think AI is ever going to touch comedy. But to music, I could see it. Because, you listen to music more. I mean, the thing about listening to music, an AI Drake song, I would listen to it.
There already was a hit song.
Right.
AI Drake, yeah. I mean, like, it's people, it just has to sound good enough.
I'm not listening to no AI George Carlin. Did you hear that one?
No, but I think that kind of stuff, it's like, most stand-up comedy these days is so formulaic that it's like, you could watch an AI comedian doing crowd work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
It's so like, how many
but
comics...
you know it's not real, so it's like you don't feel it as much.
Do you feel the regular comedian doing crowd work? Is this your girlfriend? look at this guy's pants. It's like, no, you could train a robot to do that. It's not like it's hard.
Right.
You could train a robot to go on stage and say, hey, I'm going to therapy. Hey, who's in therapy? That's all stand-up comedy is these days.
Right.
Some girl telling you about therapy.
Yeah.
And it's like, some guy sent me a dick pic. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's not like, it's hard to make AI do something that's like out there, brilliant. But it's like most comedy is already not that good anyways.
I noticed there is a lot of comedy where it is, I'm in therapy.
It is. Most comedy these days is at least 40% therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
And sober. The other half sober.
I'm sober. I just turned whatever age. I'm getting a little older. My friends are getting married. It's like it's not hard to write these jokes. So it's like anything that has a formula to it, they'll figure out how to do. I think what's going to happen though is just like at a certain point, the audience is going to like stop caring that you're in therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. No, everything gets burned out after a while.
Yeah.
You know, when I see these, I start seeing these things that's weird. They're like soap operas or like shows with like drama, but it's real big. It's filmed in America and it's dubbed over in like Asia or whatever.
Huh.
Maybe it's Japan, I don't know, but it's all about like there's somebody with money that they gotta impress, and it's like it's just all on a phone. It's like a reality TV show on a phone, but it's dubbed over with a real basic point. I could see everything going. I sat there and watched like 20 episodes of the Americanized one, which doesn't get many views, but I know it's like I found it on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like I think they film them out in like LA. One of my friends was telling me about it before. So either way, but yeah, it's like dubbed over there. But it's like a nice film crew and everything. But it's like you're like it's like a soap opera-ish on the phone.
Maybe that's the way to go.
Everybody can do it. It's the phone. Dude, I don't think people are really watching for great acting now. I think they're like,
right.
like, I don't know. Like, I think people are watching the more reality shit like that.
Yeah. Well, there's some people that just like, they just got to kind of fill space, I guess.
Or it's like I sat down, I was watching like some shows on Netflix. It's so repetitive. Shit almost got too good, or I don't know. It's always the same thing. They're trying to drag you along. I'm watching a 10-minute story. I started watching the Menendez brothers.
Oh, yeah.
The mobsters one.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, the first 5 minutes is like a recap of everything that happened. I don't know. It seems like I'm not even invested in this shit.
It's funny with those shows too. It's like when you're watching. I've noticed because I'm watching like a documentary, especially like a sports documentary, or like I watch Menendez
Killers,
Brothers,
yeah.
or like remember the OJ TV show?
Oh yeah, I watched that.
That was
yeah.
awesome.
That
but
was.
it was like it's funny because I know what happened at the end of the OJ show.
Right.
You go in, you already know what's going to happen, but you're still watching to see how they're gonna bring it out.
They add so much substance to the Menendez one that's like I'm over here Google checking. Like, it's like, did this shit really happen? I don't know if you've seen the Monsters one.
Nah.
It's not actually them; it's actors, and it's like him and Eric, and they built up this whole gay love story in prison between the young brother.
Oh.
I'm like, I doubt that this was part of the,
Oh, those guys are about to get out.
Yeah, they were saying that. I didn't know. Are they actually getting out?
I think so. Yeah.
How are they getting out?
I mean, like, I think there's been enough of these TV shows that come out where enough people are like they've been humanized, where it's just like at a certain point. My thing about that is that like you let these guys out. I mean, they already killed their parents.
With shotguns and tried their best to lie about it.
But their parents are already dead, so it's like, what are they going to kill their parents again?
Right. They might kill somebody else.
I guess, but it's like it's not like they weren't like serial killers who were going around killing random people.
Right.
They killed their parent. They were getting abused by their parents, right?
Right.
So it's like, I mean, it's not. You can't do that again. So.
Well, how much time should somebody do?
I don't know. They did. They've been in the jail since the 80s, right? They've
done
like
30 years.
30, 40 years.
And there's people that got out for murder I've seen, and I couldn't believe it. Some people get out after like 8 years.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you got to take whatever years you're thinking, and you got to split it between two people. So it's like, what did they both got to do the whole sentence? Or
And they both did about 30 years.
you combine both of them together, that's basically a life sentence. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be proportionate.
Man, so they're going to come out. Would you want to meet them? They'll probably become comedians.
Well, they're gonna tour for sure. I think they became like, aren't they like geniuses in jail? Aren't they one of those guys?
Wow,
where they're
did
like
they?
going to college and jail and
They
stuff.
left that out of the documentary. There was a lot of gay sex in the documentary.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was for a thing. I seen The Outsiders. I'm nervous. I don't want to see the play because I love the book so much, and I'm afraid that they're gonna play it up too much with the, like they're gonna make it too much about a musical. I want to see the actual, The Outsiders. That was my favorite book as a kid.
Yeah.
It's about gangs. It's like one you shouldn't really musical it up too much.
Yeah, Hollywood though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about gangs stabbing and killing people.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna be all playing in the sheets, caressing each other.
I was thinking too, those Menendez brothers, they haven't actually seen that show yet.
Oh, you don't think they've seen it in prison, or they got iPads? They're still.
I don't think
Are they still rich? That's the thing.
Are they?
They got to get some sort of kickback from these shows.
You would hope so, but it's just like
Hollywood.
I wonder. Yeah, I feel like it's just some open source story at this point. Everybody knows, but it's just like if you were the Menendez brothers and you just did 40 years in jail for killing your parents, and you spent all this time in jail doing all this gay stuff. How long after you got out of jail would it be before you watched the TV show? Because the first day you get out of jail, you got to do a bunch of stuff.
Right.
You got to get some chicken. You got to go to get a phone, and you got to do.
Yeah, maybe a pizza. They might go pizza.
I don't know. I think they got pizza in prison. I think you want to get some
some protein,
some nice hot.
That's the thing too. What type of meals are they eating? Because they still come from money. Are they actually in a prison?
They're in prison.
Oh, they did the
they're
prison.
In killer prison.
Yeah.
But it's like you get out, you got to go to Dave and Buster's. You got to get some Raising Cane's chicken.
Right.
You got to go swim in the pool.
See the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, swim in a pool. You got to go to do some. You got to go to a strip club, get the girl or the guy, whatever you're into.
Go see your family members that held it down for you.
Yeah, I feel like. And do you even want to be reminded? If somebody made a TV show of your life, would you even be able to press play on the thing? I'd feel too weird about it.
Right, I'd have to watch it, and it would be a hard watch. Reminding you of the lies. And, everything to them, they're probably like, that's made up. This didn't happen.
Yeah. But just having to sit down, even if I'm in like a short film or something, it's like, I don't want to watch this shit.
Well, it goes back to the Tyson ear thing. You don't want your past rehashed, and now it's like the number one thing on TV.
Yeah.
And they're always gonna be like, "Yeah, you're the bald one and the gay one." That's
Yeah.
it's like, are those things even true?
Yeah, there's more to it.
It's like you gotta think, what if they just made him gay for the hell of it? Nobody knows if Eric was gay,
That's true, yeah.
and they just imagine just being the one they just made gay.
Well, you did all this time in jail, then you come outside, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm gay now.
They did what? Are you the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me get this correct. I just stare at the man's Johnson.
I think this is one of those things too, where it's one of those stories where the guy gets out of jail, he finds out they made this whole movie about him, and they're like, "No, we got to make another movie."
Right.
That's his first order.
We got to tell the truth.
Yeah, first order of business is him trying to get his film financed.
You know,
Everybody's-
it's gonna be sad. Those ex-criminals, they'll just try selling T-shirts. They know those old hustles. So you'll see him at like the train station selling shirts.
Yeah.
Eric Menendez isn't gay. There will be a website.
Well, yeah, these days I'm guessing they come out and it's going to be some sort of podcast deal or something.
Who would be
People telling the
interested?
story.
This is what bothers me though. About honestly, this is something that irks me is when you get these people. Even sometimes, like some of these mobsters, they're bragging about killing people, and we just highlight it. I mean, these guys, what would be the point? These are guys, what did they really do? They shot their parents and went to prison. Like, what's the podcast? What are we watching this for? And people will.
It was a big story. I mean, like, if in the 80s, this was, like, huge.
I get it, but it's like, so now we're gonna tune in on a podcast and them interviewing people.
Well, I mean, you got to say, you got to admit you're a little curious. You want to know at least just, like, what was jail like?
Right.
What was jail like knowing that, like, you were the trial of the century?
Yeah.
People want to know about OJ. It's the same thing.
No, you're right. I guess it's an interesting topic.
Think about how many people are still talking. You know, people want to know what Diddy's up to in jail.
Right.
Every story that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Is
How
still
much longer till that comes out? The Netflix, you think? 5 years?
50 Cent already. He's making a documentary.
Oh, yeah.
about
I've
Diddy.
seen that.
Yeah. But it's just like people, the Diddy thing, it's just like, you got to imagine as much hype as Diddy going to jail is, Menendez Brothers was that times 100
Right.
in the 80s. Because it didn't happen as much. Now shit happens all the time. We kind of like, it moves on.
Right.
But it was like, if you remember what OJ was like.
The
in the 90s,
Menendez brothers might have been the most famous court case there was. I mean, you
Until
put them
OJ.
right up there. Yeah, OJ, Menendez, definitely Dahmer because that shit was wild. And the dude that killed the girls, Ted.
Ted Bundy.
That was a big one. Who else?
Yeah.
I don't feel like that John Wayne Gacy news wasn't big when he was around, was it? I
It
don't know when
was, but that
happened.
story is too dark.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
they
like
can't
anything
really
involving
play
like
it.
that kind of stuff. It's
Wow,
like
dude, that's a good point.
the Menendez brothers. It's like they were like teenagers and they killed their parents,
Right.
and it's like they had that kind of weird look to them.
And the money, they were rich. People care about.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know what the dad did, Menendez. Why was he rich?
I don't know.
I want
But there
you
was
boys
like
to be president.
there's like a famous basketball card that was taken at a Lakers game. I think it's like Magic Johnson or something. Where in the background you see the Menendez brothers, just like courtside watching
That's
the game.
wild.
Yeah.
That's like I just seen the one with the Wayans brothers with Tupac, like way back. It's crazy you think that the young brother, like, you know, the two brothers, anyways, it's crazy to think they were probably 17 or 18
Yeah.
hanging out with the biggest rapper in the world.
Right. Yeah, Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, Marlon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yep.
You know, I kind of remember when Menendez were going back to court at one point, like, because I know I was born in '86, but I definitely remember the OJ trial.
Yeah. But just like that level of, because the OJ trial, if it happened now, people would move on from it pretty quick. I think even that last day,
Yeah, because look at the Aaron
we
Hernandez
were
thing.
in school when the trial, when the verdict came out. Remember that?
Right.
It was like 2:00 in the afternoon in California, and my teacher like rolled in like a TV, and we all like, you know,
Wow.
we watched the thing, and she had to like try to talk to us about what it meant and everything.
That's
I
crazy.
think like 5th grade, but it was like if that happened now, it's like it would be like it would trend on Twitter for like 2 days, and then it would be gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, people couldn't. I remember the OJ chase, the Bronco chase. I remember my dad, he had promised me for some reason that we were going to go out to get pizza. And so I was like super excited about going out to the pizza place. And he came home from work. I guess we were watching the chase. And I'm a little kid. I don't know how old we were during OJ. It was like
we were young, like 8.
during
maybe,
when it
9?
first happened. It was like 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't care about this. Let's go get pizza. And my dad's like, hold on a second. Let's see how this finishes.
Right.
But I'm a little kid, so I'm crying or something and throwing a tantrum. So he's like, all right, fine, we'll go. So we're in the pizza place, and he's like in his car listening on the radio because he's so excited about OJ.
Yeah, dude, people came over our house. We threw a damn party watching the trial.
Yeah.
People would come over, and they'd come over your house and watch it.
Was your family pro OJ or anti OJ?
No, I don't think they even had a side. They just were watching it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. If they did, they didn't talk about it. I don't remember. Probably, I think they all said he was guilty. They all thought he was guilty. So I guess that would be anti.
Mm-hmm.
But my family didn't I don't remember them getting too caught up in stuff. It was just because there was nothing else to do. The OJ trial
was on every channel.
Yeah, it was what there was to do.
Yeah.
Like, especially in Ohio. Like, I don't know, you grew up in the suburbs too, or was yours more of a city life?
No, suburbs.
Suburbs, you know, what are you going to do? Go outside? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing to do. You're not going to go to Dairy Queen. I don't know.
You hear that there's a high-speed chase, and it's OJ.
Well, especially you're out in the West Coast, but I mean, just the court case, we were glued to the TV. It's all there was on TV.
It was just every single day for like a year.
That was entertainment. That was our shows.
Good times. Rest in peace, OJ.
Yeah, like I remember when they had I forgot what it was now. I wanted to say Oklahoma City bombing, but were we alive during that? Okay, then yeah, dude, I remember that was huge too.
All right, well, let's plug some dates.
What a way to end it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Free OJ.
All right, what do we got coming up? When's this coming out? December 4th?
Next week.
I got the Apollo December 4th. Come check it out.
Oh, there you go. Do you know what jokes you're going to do?
I'm going to do the Apollo. Yeah, actually, I was thinking, honestly, I hate to do a new one. I got to look at the contract again. I think it's 3 minutes tops, but I'm not going to try to do the full 3. But they sent you a thing in email, yeah.
Oh, it's like
it tells you the amount of time, what's not allowed. It's like all family stuff, like G-rated.
Wow.
G-rated comedy. So, yeah, so I know, I don't know. I've been doing this TJ Maxx bit. Everybody's like, you got to do that at the Apollo. It would kill. But it's a new bit. But sometimes your new bits,
at least it's a new bit. You feel it.
You feel the bit.
You're not just going through the motions.
It's more animated. I could easily. There's a lot of act outs in it, and it's been doing great. So I got. If they let me do,
you're gonna do that joke, and then somebody in the audience in the back's like, "Man, that white boy's crazy."
Yeah, white boy crazy.
Yeah, he dumb.
Yeah, that's the. I love getting
stupid.
that one,
yeah.
Dude. You're stupid as hell, boy.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, so I'm gonna piece together those 2 jokes maybe and do it. But I'm not even excited because you talk to people that did the Apollo, they're like, oh no, they'll just boo before you get the microphone. I didn't realize it's kind of like that. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not
why you got to
waste.
be a crazy ass white boy.
What do you think I should wear?
Something bright.
You know, I was gonna wear these dress shoes that I got, and they're Van Housen, and in my TJ Maxx bit, I was gonna be like, "What's them cheap, them real cheap ones?" You know, the doc. Hold on, let me check the name.
There you go.
That would work.
It's like a Def Jam bit.
Yeah.
It's like Martin Lawrence pulling the sock out.
Yeah. Now, like, what's it say? Van Housen. Yeah, these are the cheap ones.
Well, you got to dress like. I think you got to get like a button down, but you got to have it like open to like. You know,
have my chest out?
Yeah, have your chest out, no shirt, nothing. It's just like, be real like John Travolta with it.
I was thinking I need to be in a full-on suit.
Nah.
You don't think so?
You got to be Sebastian with it, where it's just like something loud.
You think have the chest out?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I think that's going to get me booed immediately.
No, but you're going to get booed either way. So it's like, no, you got to have like.
A bow tie.
I don't even mean that, but it's got to look like, I want to see what this guy's got to say.
Right.
Let's watch this, this Stallone looking dude.
I got to piece together an outfit, something real Italian looking.
Yeah, exactly. You got to get a gold chain, a little like Jesus piece.
Yeah, even if it's fake, just to have it.
So yeah, check out Dom at the Apollo.
December 4th.